we're here to see how silt fences work. And we have a construction site here, and all of this area that you can see some of the gullies where the rain has been draining down in. You can see all this area is all draining behind this silt fence. However, if you look more closely, you can see that the sediment has built up behind the silt fence and has breached the silt fence and started a new stream heading down. Now it's heading down to the next silt fence. At the next silt fence, we find essentially the same thing, that this silt fence now must contain all the water and sediment coming off of this entire area. Because the first silt fence failed, it is also now getting the water and sediment from that area. It's lot number 45. We'll have to find out how many acres this lot is. But once again, we see what has occurred. It does retain some sediment. The sediment builds up. It's overtopped, and by the gullies, we can see that water eroded the whole way down the street and made a gully down towards the storm drain. Just another shot of the overtopping and the gully created. At some point right about here, it overtopped the curb, and the mud, rocks, and sediment are all deposited. The sediment that did stay on the property was supposed to be caught by this silt fence here, which is down and has been overtopped, and sediment now covers the entire road and is leading into the storm drains. So this is the sediment leading right up to the storm drain. As you can see, these folks did a good job of putting a hay bale down in the storm drain. Let's see here. Oh no, they did not. It is just straw on the top of the storm drain that has accumulated. The sediment is rapidly pouring into the storm drain. Here's an area right at the storm drain with a big hole in the silt fence, where I'm sure some of the mud that is now deposited down here got through earlier. So the sediment is about 1 inch to 2 inches thick. I'm going down both storm drains. Quite a bit of sediment, as you can see from my shoe. Here it seems lucky that a few of the signs from S&A Homes, snahomebuilder.com, have blown off in the storm and have come down to try and block some of the sediment, but it appears to no avail as it continues to pour in. And here's actually where those storm drains flow down into a small tributary of the Cadorus Creek, which flows in just upstream of the Amig's Mill Road Bridge. So essentially, in conclusion, we had 3 silt fences, all of which failed, but because the upper 2 failed, this final silt fence was forced to handle the whole load of this entire probably 2 acre to 3 acre property. And it all came down here and either overtopped the silt fence here, or came right through that hole which goes between the super silt fence and the smaller silt fence. So the lesson is that silt fences, regular silt fences, do very, very little, and super silt fences certainly at least have to be used properly and all the time to be effective. As we can see, the whole way up to the street, no silt fence, no regular silt fence intact, and plenty of mud going into the storm drains. Stop what you're doing on Lee Court. Stop what you're doing on Sheridan Road and Lee Court. Stop.